And I'm trying this again because I did 2 tries earlier and I was able to be live with you guys. It was such a nice, sweet time, and for some reason you're not able to watch that video. So what's going on? I've been here 10 days and it was super, super rough at first because I had jet lag. Hey, Sarah. I'm doing this again because nobody could watch the other. There's John B. He was there. He can attest to the fact that it worked. We were live. And so, appropriately, Neptune style, the videos are not uploading. Something's going on. Hi, Karen. So I just keep kind of persevering and surrendering, which is what that video was about, because it is really literally like being underwater. It was like I went from my Jupiter line in California to the Neptune line that's all over Europe. There's really no escaping it. It could get better east of the line, but John G and John B and Sarah. So basically, it felt Neptune energy is like taking a deep dive. And if you're lucky, you take a deep dive and it's mellow and it's easy. But for some reason, I was like tossed and tumbled and just didn't know which way was up. And it took me, it is like the old times, it took me a week from Friday to feel even normal. But in the meantime, even after that, it's been not easy to post, not easy to edit my beautiful footage. It has been not easy to go online. My Airbnb that had slight Wi-Fi, he sent 2 men to install a new router and new wires, and then there was no Wi-Fi. So anytime I do any kind of connection, Instagram, getting online, I use a personal hotspot. So it's just iffy at best. So I really thought I was going to be able to share and post, and that was just me bringing my Jupiter energy along with me. And I kind of liken it to the god of the sea said, hey, Robin, the god of the sea said, okay, Dara, we're dunking you under. And I got dunked, and it was not fun. I had feelings of like loneliness and weirdness, and everything was kind of dark and gray. And then little by little, I got sorted out. It's kind of like if you've ever been, as a kid, a wave comes, you get tumbled under, and you don't know which way is up. It was like that kind of feeling. So you're welcome, Robin. It's something to, the way to handle Neptune energy, and the reason that I wasn't so worried about it is because it's great for spirituality. It's great for your intuition and psychic abilities. It's really great for creativity, film, the arts. I should be able to film, which I am. I can film and have inspiration and take beautiful photographs. But actually posting and being seen is like not a Neptune thing. So I decided to surrender into it. I was going to leave. I was literally like Googling, how do I get out of here? Should I go to Lisbon? Should I go to the Canary Islands? Places where I have some Jupiter energy. And then I was like, no, I am supposed to stay in Rome. I can't leave before I have a good time here. I can't leave before I understand the energies and still mostly to be me on this line. So it's been trippy is the word, I would say, trippy. But anytime I go somewhere new, I have to acclimate. So I wanted to see what it would feel like after the jet lag is gone and after I got my bearings. So the cool thing about Neptune are all those things. Imagination, it rules film, it rules the arts, mysticism, magic, mystery, all of that is amazing. The downside is that you can't really, it's not really good for day-to-day things. It's like opposite of being able to balance your checkbook and get things done in an orderly fashion, or to like the practicalities of life and your ambitions kind of get watered. And that's what's happened. It's kind of shocking. I'm kind of like lost in it. I'm like, I forget like to look at my to-do list. I haven't looked at my to-do list. There's things that I need to do. I want to work on my course. I'm hoping at the next Airbnb, which starts Wednesday, I'm going to be able to have Wi-Fi. So I'm going to edit over the next couple of days the beautiful footage, and then hopefully I'll be able to post Wednesday. Life dreaminess is getting in the way. Like the actual getting stuff done is not happening. Like life isn't really getting in my way. Like it's linear activities. It's just kind of like dreamy and like almost like who cares? It'll all work out. And I kind of lost my I lost my ambition in the water somewhere, so I have to swim and find it. So Neptune is very watery. It's the god of the sea, and I think of it as stormy, and sometimes it's clear, and sometimes you get like clarity under the water, and sometimes it's murky, and sometimes you find like a pearl, sometimes you find a treasure, sometimes you have an insight or you get inspiration, and then it's lost again. So the downside is kind of like illusion, fantasy, not seeing clearly, being deceived, deceiving yourself, not being able to see things clearly. Sometimes choppy waters, totally choppy. And sometimes it seems kind of like mean and not nice, and sometimes it seems so dreamy. And I think the really cool thing is that we are equipped to handle. One of the things that I love about astrogeography is that it lets you identify what's going on so that you can navigate better. And so I've been navigating in a way like now it's been 10 days. I can be my grounded self. I can be the Capricorn that I am and pay attention to doing some structure that I need to do, my to-do lists and my next life tool that I'm working on. But so I just wanted to say that I'm sorry that the last video didn't air. It's astro navigation. That's totally what it is. Astro-geo navigation. It's been so weird. And on top of the jet lag, I ended up in an Airbnb, which is so charming. Probably better if you're staying somewhere with someone in it because it's a little off the beaten path. It's so cute, and it's in the cutest area, Trastevere, but it's not like in the thick of things. There are things to be had, like a 5-minute, 10-minute walk, but it was weird. Like the bathtub water didn't get hot. And then I thought it would get hot from the shower head that was like on a hose. So I tried to fill the tub with the shower head because I was there was hot water, and then water went everywhere, all over my stuff on the floor. It was like a mini little flood. And then that same day, I realized that I wasn't going to be able to post videos, that Wi-Fi was ridiculous. Then I tried to heat up a tonic, and somehow I locked the stove, so I couldn't get heat. I couldn't get hot. Think about this. There was no fire. I couldn't get hot water. I want to make a note of that. No hot water, because I'm writing a blog for the tub. No hot heat on the stove. And the funny thing is that you could get like, you're not paying attention to like detailed Virgo stuff, like health and diet and being particular. It's more dreamy. It's like, oh, if I want pasta, I'll have pasta. And oh, if I want to have a glass of wine. For those of you who know me, I really never crave wine. I don't really like to drink. So there were a couple nights I had a glass of wine each night, and I was like, ugh, that just doesn't feel like me. And eating pasta, it's been hilarious. Like I've been like just in the flow of whatever the waters are around me, and people eat way more than pasta and wine. There's like profiteroles, and there's like pizza everywhere. What do I do? Oh, I always manage to remain calm. Thank you. I'm happy to hear you're loving my travels, Sutton, because I am putting together beautiful footage. As I'm walking down the street, I'll show the cobblestones, I'll show the rain hitting the ground, the cobblestone, I'll film, and then you'll see people walking towards me, and alleys and food and the river and kind of like when I did the Paris vlogs, when I like to show as I'm turning a corner what the walls look like and the feeling of being here. And that's something I'm definitely tapped into, like the feeling of it. But it is not helping my somewhat scattered nature. It's not helping. I tend to not, I have Neptune in the 3rd house, which makes me a little kind of scattered and ungrounded. It's kicking it all up. But it is certainly dreamy and certainly good for astrology and astrogeography. Yeah, maybe there's some magic in not posting in real time. That's such a good point. Like maybe I'm supposed to get it together and edit it. I had it all set out that I was so excited because I have this iCloud situation. So if I take the footage, all I have to do is like on my phone, swipe it into a shared folder and get it to Emily, my editor. But I remember when I tried that, it was not, she got half of the videos. So the first video that was posted, she edited, and it didn't have the whole next day that I thought she had. So the next day it was 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna edit on my phone, and I'm like this, and I've got my glasses on, and it's like a little phone, little clips, and I'm trying not to post the ones that are Instagram because they're narrow. And I ended up like just doing a really scratchy editing job, and I'm like, that's just not how I want to do it. So today is the first day I attempted to get the videos from iCloud into iMovie, and I'm working on that video right now. So there is some magic in, it'll be like all together. You like my glasses? They're my readers. I'm going with intuition first. And so I picked Rome because it spoke to me. I knew I was going to Europe, and I was thinking Lisbon, I was thinking Greece, I was thinking France, but it was just Rome. It was like Rome, Rome, Rome. And I was like, all right, it's Rome. So I started looking up what's going on astrogeographically. And I thought, okay, I'm supposed to relax into Neptune. I'm supposed to have a dreamy time because I've been so focused on the running Airbnbs and doing my business and making my courses and doing sessions for other people. So many things are pulling on my attention at home. If you think about it, it's Jupiter. So it's Jupiter expanding, and Jupiter brings opportunities. So whether there's a good opportunity or a fun thing, it's like, oh, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do this. It's like expansion ad nauseum. And I was like, kind of might be nice to feel a little dreamy, not realizing that I probably wouldn't be easily posting and feeling super motivated like I am at home. So first, I think it's the same thing with feng shui, right? Like, you don't design your house according to feng shui. I don't. I do what feels good aesthetically, what looks good aesthetically, what feels good to me, and then I make enhancements or cures. So I choose my travel based on intuition, and there's reason for it, which I think I described in one of the last videos, which I'm happy to say again. You can let me know if you want to know what transpired karmically, energetically here. I found out the reason that I did come to Rome was, besides getting dreamy and imaginative and not being so linear and getting stuff done and saying yes to every opportunity, it's like there's no opportunities. There's no opportunities here. My get up and go, got up and went, John. That is exactly what happened. It's just not there. I'm like, wait, I had a to-do list. I'm supposed to work on the moon's nodes I'm doing a booster for astrogeography. I want to finish this life. I have like the secret to life's happiness that I'm putting. It literally is the thing besides astrogeography that's helping me help people to be on their path, to get their life direction and happiness. And I have all the notes, and I did practice before I left. I did a practice run with an amazing videographer, but I wasn't quite happy with exactly how I did it, my performance. So my intention was to come here and film, But that takes being somewhat linear, right? You have to like say, okay, here's the notes, here's the camera, here's some decent light. And so it just hasn't even crossed my mind to do it. It's like not even, I'm like, oh yeah. But before I left, it was like urgent. So it takes the urgency out of life, I think, which is not bad. Hi, Zachary. I did the past life session. You can take the Intro to Astro-geography life tool. It's a course, but it's super, super easy. You just learn how to look up your map, and then you listen to me describe the videos. And I'm going to be adding to it. So everyone who's purchased it is going to get like 3 more videos that get added to it. I'm excited about it. And so I realized when I got here, I mentioned this in one of the videos, but for those of you who didn't watch it, it was, I also have the moon's node descending here, which is karmic and fated relationships. It feels like when you have a moon's node line, not IC, but a moon's node definitely descending, you feel as if you've been here before, like lived here in a past life. And when I did my sessions with Heath, the business, he's a spiritual business advisor, getting you aligned with your life emotionally so that your business can do well. There is no compartmentalizing. I believe that. So he had guidance on a past life of mine that was kind of getting in the way. And this trip was part of breaking some old karmic ties with some people in the past and some ways of operating. And that was the big push for taking this one-way trip, that I just had to travel. It almost didn't matter where I went. And then when I did a session with him, because I was like freaking out, it was so bad when I got here. 5 days after, I was like, okay, this is not going how I thought. It doesn't feel good. And he's like, that's the past life. It was there. And I'm like, it was here. And so wouldn't you know it? No one, I haven't met anyone except this one lovely woman, Sophie. We were messaging on Instagram, and I was like, hey, should we meet? So we met at my favorite little cafe, the Barnum Cafe. And before she came to me, I just had an instinct that we should meet. And before, like 2 minutes before she was like walking up to the cafe, I looked at her Instagram and I saw that it said past life regression hypnotherapist. And I was like, oh my God. So, because 3 or 4 days before, I'm like, this has to be cleared. Like, I need to know more about it or something. And I was aware that just by being here, by being in a place that held some tough history, and being myself, making sure that I still am myself on a tough line with tough history is healing enough. But I knew I needed some help or something, or some vision into it. So we did a past life session. She came here to my Airbnb, and it was extraordinary. We went through, and I saw things and felt things, and she helped me clear them. Hi, Janet in Texas. So I did the past life thing. I surrendered into Neptune energy. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to push anything or have my agenda, and I'm going to just really be in the flow, and I'll know when it's time to go. So I decided to stay another week because I love Rome. Like, I didn't want to leave feeling like yuck. I wanted to like be me here, heal it, love it, and then move on. So I have another week starting Wednesday at another Airbnb. I asked, do you have hot water, Wi-Fi, and cell service? There is a bathtub. So this one has a bathtub. This one is the most, like, I can recommend this apartment. It's so great. But it's definitely time to move to the next one. And it's a little more in the thick of things in Trastevere, which is such a cute old cobblestoney neighborhood. Like, there's like these honey-colored walls, bougainvillea, jasmine, and then there's like graffiti and laundry hanging out to dry, and people eating everywhere, and cobblestoney, and just like winding, which you'll see, and it feels really old and home, and I no longer feel bad. So I feel like I'm accomplishing what my intuition wanted me to do. You can do it 2 ways. You can absolutely absolutely just pick astrogeographically. You can definitely say, I want to go to a sun line, I want to go to a Venus line, I want to go to a Jupiter line. You might choose a Neptune line if you're writing a screenplay, if you are wanting to tap into your own intuition and psychic nature. Just don't think that you're going to be like exposed. You know, you're going to have recognition for what you're doing. Not really. No. I lived on a Neptune line, not as close as this one is, for 10 years, and it was really interesting. I've taken off on my own many times and have gone through all the things you're experiencing. I just had to keep moving forward to the journey. Sammy, that is so true. Like, anytime you travel alone, you have moments when you're out and everybody's with family or friends or lovers and you're by yourself and you're like, oh, this is so weird, I'm so far away. That happened a lot the first week, like devastating a lot. Like, and that's not me, like I don't really get lonely. And then it's happened less and less. I'm like holding my own, like I feel strong in my own presence. So I don't have those lonely feelings anymore. Sometimes I experience Rome as kind of mean. Usually it feels absolutely lovely, but once in a while it feels like the people are mean or they're rough or hard. There's like a bit of a hard energy sometimes. And I've sensed it mostly from the men, like older men. There's like an old, it's hard to describe. It's like in the cobblestones, in like, maybe some people don't like the changes that are happening. Maybe they're having a tough time. Like, that's the energy I've been picking up on. And then sometimes I look into usually women's eyes, or there's like a softness with the women that is really nice. So that's just my experience at the moment. Hola. Thank you, John B., for holding court. You guys are so nice to each other. I love it. So there's just been so many trials and tribulations, but there's also so much gnocchi and pizza. It's easy to be vegan, aside from some Parmesan cheese that ends up topping things. But yeah, you're holding court. Thank you. Thank you for holding court. Yeah, and another thing is like the waters, you're tapped in. It's like a current that's going on that you feel a part of. And food is everything here. I mean, everywhere you look, there's these profiteroles. Like, I haven't had a craving to have any kind of like bready thing with a cream in it. Or like pasta. Like, I don't eat pasta at home unless it's like gluten-free vegan Mario, sourdough pasta. But apparently I love pasta and gnocchi. There's a cute little family place around the corner, and they make, I get steamed spinach, I get carciofi, which is artichoke. They made me just grilled eggplant, melanzone, I think it's called, I forget. Unfortunately, you don't really have to practice your Italian because so many people are English speaking these days in Rome, in the places that I'm in. Except for the place that I went to get my hair done. She spoke not a word of English. And I decided to go blonder just by whim. One day I was walking down the street and I went to visit this woman and her brother own an organic cosmetics store. It's a teeny little slice of organic sweet products, and I love to support people who are doing things like that. So I went in and got a conditioner, and then she gave me a sample for shampoo, and I went back and got shampoo, and then I went back and got this lipstick, and it was really sweet. And I just went in and I said, do you have a hair place? And she walked me around the corner to Roberta, who does hair and speaks no English. So I just said, Bionde, and you'd go blonde if you weren't bald. That's so cute. So I figured after I did it, I was like, it was a move, an energetic move, because I don't intend to go home to get my hair colored or lightened. And I also realized after that, like, if I'm underwater and I'm not being seen, then you know how sparkly things like fish are attracted to sparkly lures, and flashy, like when a fish goes by and the scales are flashy, or a mermaid, I realized that I was like brightening myself up to be seen underneath the water. And blondes have more fun. So they say. How you will have a good head of hair in the next lifetime, John, if you're coming back human. And the blonde helps. The blonde helps. Right now it doesn't look that light, but the lighting is kind of dark. That's really funny, John. So we are, experiencing Neptune, and it's food, dreamy, zero ambition. there's no, and I'm a Capricorn. I am a hardworking, upwardly mobile, always doing something Capricorn, and I got almost nothing. Like it's just like non-existent. Other than going out in the morning for a walk. I walk about 7 miles easy every day, and I don't even realize that I'm walking that far. It's effortless. So is there anything, Zachary, I'm a total Cap. I'm a Capricorn. I've got a Cancer moon, so I'm moony, and I have Virgo rising, so I'm super earthy and particular. Is there anything wrong with just going in the flow? Carol, no. It's a beautiful place to be dreamy. When you are somebody who feels so passionate to get this thing out into the world, my life direction, life tool course, it's a little bit like a stop to the passion. Like, I'm passionate about it, so I want to be able at least to create it. That's what I want to do. So I want to be somewhat focused enough. But besides that, no, there's nothing wrong with having a dose of water, of that dreaminess and romantic nature, which is why I didn't steer away from this place. I knew what I was headed into up to a point. I didn't realize that past life was here that was so hard. I didn't realize that I wouldn't be able to post anything. But no, there's nothing wrong. In fact, it's very, very soothing. I visited the Spanish Steps, the Piazza di Spagna. I didn't get to the Trevi Fountain yet. Isn't that funny? I'm going to go. I want to go to a museum or two. I've done eating and shopping. Yeah, I needed to relax. Like, I needed to just be like, who cares? I don't care. I mean, I love to connect with you guys. I can do that this way. Neptune removed my agenda. The pushing that I was doing and the sparkly kind of like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Like, maybe, I felt that I needed this romantic, watery thing. And I was talking to my assistant friend, Emily, and she was saying it in other different and beautiful words, but it's the same thing, is that when you're too much something, you need something else. And when you are too out there, sometimes Jupiter can be too expansive. So all of the planets, as I've said, the planetary energy, there's the high side and the beautiful things, and then there's like the low side. Just like each sign, empowered has all this greatness and disempowered has all this shadow energy. So if, I've lived on that Jupiter line for, oh my gosh, 18 years, and perhaps I'm overdosed and I needed a dunk in Neptune. I needed a dunk in the water, which I got. And since I don't feel like leaving Europe, I may be going to southern Italy or Greece. I'm still going to have Neptune. I'll be east of the line, which is something I'm going to explain, add in the course, is that east or west of the line makes a difference. West of the Neptune line now, and that makes it puts Neptune in my first house. So when something's in the first house, that's you. That's how you feel about yourself. It has everything to do with a personal nature. So me personally am experiencing I am experiencing Neptune. And if I go east of the line, then it puts Neptune in my 12th house, which is where Neptune belongs in spirituality, not in your personal feelings for me. So I will have a different experience if I go to Greece or even the tip of the boot in Italy, because I will also be further away from the moon's node, which is so karmic and fated relationships and that past life stuff. So right now, I can't believe I'm glowing, Janet. Thank you. The lighting is weird and I feel weird, but I so wanted to connect with you guys because I kept getting messages that you weren't able to watch the last video. Oh, yeah, you know what? It's funny, the lipstick fell on the floor, and let me get this. It's so great. I got a pink and a red, and it's ethically packaged because it's like this cardboardy. It says couleur caramel. It sounds French. COULEUR caramel. And this color is the red one. I have the pink one on. This one is 120. It's so good, this lipstick, because it's kind of matte. And it's not like, when they're too moisturizing, they just end up all over your face. I have always been a fan of matte. I have not been a gloss girl ever. Thank you, John B. Yes, couleur caramel means caramel color. And it does feel really caramelly. Rouge à lèvres. Yes, it's definitely French. So pretty. And the other one's this hot pink, like super bright. And then I could just blot it. This one feels not like a chapstick. It feels like a proper lipstick. Thank you. I like this tone, and I like the pink one. And you can use it like a tint, though. You are right, Zachary, because if you blot it more, you can you can have it more matte, or just stain your lips, and it stays on a long time. Hi, John. I always hear Dara say your name, but this is my first time seeing your picture. Aw, you guys are meeting for the first time. It's so pretty. It's so romantic. It's so dreamy. And Neptune's also really good with image. Like if you need to create your beautiful image, Neptune is good for that. You sometimes can feel on a Neptune line that you aren't seen for the depth of who you are, you're seen for image. So that's another thing, is like you don't feel seen, like personally, deeply seen. Thank you, Zachary. Oh, the Maca beat is more of a chapstick. Yes, I'm not a chapstick fan. I've never liked chapstick. It feels waxy. This one just doesn't feel like anything is on. I feel like I'm doing an infomercial. Have you ever tried Color My World? Hi, Lisa. No, I have not. I will write that down, but I have like too many lipsticks. Lipsticks and shoes are my things. Like if people have too much of something, yeah, mine is lipsticks. I don't like chapstick. It's waxy. So is there anything anybody wants to know about astrogeography, about the fact that I'm going to stay swimming in Neptune all over Europe? If I want to get a different energy, I can go to Iceland. I have greatness, Jupiter and the moon in Iceland, and both on the midheaven. I think both on the midheaven. India is really great for me, and Nepal. Hi, Nancy. You got me. So I think it's really cool to know how to navigate any of the planetary energies. There's only 2 lines that I purposefully I would not travel to a Mars descending line on purpose. And maybe Saturn's not my favorite, but there's a time and a place for Saturn energy. Your wife has 300 pairs of shoes. Oh my gosh, I do not have that many. I have given away many in my life. You're live. I'm live and you're stuck on a treadmill. I should be on a treadmill. Yes, my logical mermaid. Oh my God, that could be like my name right now because I'm a Capricorn, but I'm having to be like a mermaid in Neptune world. I have been craving pasta. I'll have pizza, not with cheese on it, but cheese made its way. I think there was Parmesan on one of my gnocchis. um, I wanted dessert. Like I've had a couple of cookies, like little sugar cookies that they serve you. I've wanted coffee. I've had coffee. I wanted wine. I had wine. It's crazy. I toned it down today. I was like, that's enough. I made sure I went to Naturasi and I got dates with a little nut butter for when I want something sweet. I got carrots. I got rice crackers and some raw vegan cheese. So I feel like I can have that feeling, but not the way. I think I do want to go to Greece, Sutton, because I do want to go to Greece. 100%. Jada, my daughter, asked me to save Greece for her because before my mom passed, she wanted to take us to Greece where Mamma Mia was filmed. And Jada has been invited to go with her dad a number of times, and she has said no, she wants to go with me. So if she can meet me, otherwise I'll take a girls' trip there. But I definitely am going to go down south of Italy. I believe. You never know what can transpire in this week. I could get a different idea swimming to me. It's kind of like you're under the water and sometimes it's dark and you're like, ew, this is bad. And sometimes you're like, ooh, magic. And then sometimes, I don't know if you guys heard on Instagram, I was completely lost the other day. Like lost in a way where my Google map for an entire day wouldn't show me which direction I was walking in. And I was like, I know my way, I got this. And I ended up like 3 miles, I think, in the wrong direction. And I was like, I don't know how to take the buses or anything like that. And I'm like standing there going, I really don't know which direction to go in. And then this young woman, it was like, I turned off like a side street in case I was going to call an Uber. And so I wasn't on a main street, and this young girl was briskly walking by, and I was like, Trastevere? Like, where is it? Dove? And she was like, oh, far. Somehow I understood she said far. But then she said autobus, and I was like, no, walk. And she said, oh. And so she walked me. I thought she was going to stop at some point and point me in a direction. She walked me all the way home, minus 3 blocks, because finally I said, you go, I know where I am. Federica. And she was an angel. And then I think after that, I was like, there's so much magic here. Like, yes, I got through the jet lag. The shock of the Neptune energy and the jet lag was almost too much to bear, and I almost flew out of here, and I'm so glad I didn't, because I really couldn't, because I knew I loved Rome. I've been here when I was 21. I think I was here 29 years ago, and I was like, I love Rome. Like, I can't not love Rome. I can't leave before I love Rome. She is an angel, and she is such an angel. We're now friends on Instagram, and she's like, we might get together, although she speaks no English. Yeah, what an angel. Like, walked me all the way home, and she had just finished work, and she was planning to get on a bus herself. And then halfway home, she was like, okay, bus. I'm like, no bus. And she's like, walk, okay. So she really just walked me home, like out of the goodness of her heart. And that's an angel. That's the kind of magic that can happen, because Neptune is a higher octave of Venus. It's like the divine love, compassion. So you can find that. And I love when I see that in people. And when I feel their harshness, I know it's no reflection on me, but it's like hard. And I prefer the warmth. And I think there's a little warmer energy in southern Italy. Yeah, it would be so special to be together and just not speak and smile. Magic does happen. So there's divine love, magic, mystery. Like right now, when I hang up the phone, I could go eat something. Like I could go out there and eat something with gluten. that my appetite has definitely changed. Thank goodness I'm walking many steps a day. Thank goodness. So I do miss my green juices. There is salads to be had though, so it's not Italy's fault, it's my fault because I could just be eating spinach and artichokes all day and not touching the gluten, but yeah, apparently I'm going with the flow. So what do you think, you guys? Are we good for tonight? I wanted to tell you that Rome has changed since I've been here. Many years ago, when you travel to Europe, my mother and I would say you just don't wear sneakers, you wear shoes. Like, you dress beautifully when you go to Europe, you get treated beautifully, you wear something that would be good from day into night. Usually it was all black, so you would be good during the day, and if you went out to dinner, you could be in the same thing and look elegant. Never wore sneakers, and now everyone wears sneakers. It's also a lot less romantic than I remember. Like, the men used to be like, amore, bella. Like, it used to be a little more, granted, I was like in my 20s, but it's a little more urban feeling, and I described earlier, it's a little more metrosexual, and a lot of English, a lot of tourists. And I was talking to the woman who owns the cosmetic store. She said that she goes, it's different. It's different in Napoli or southern Italy. They're more affectionate. And then she said there's a lot of homosexuals. That was her that was her take on why it's not as flirtatious as it used to be. But things change. Things change for the better. There is I also think it's your state of mind. And I think that so much has changed. There's more fruit and vegetables to eat. There's more vegan options and gluten-free options. A lot of the restaurants advertise that, and you can look on TripAdvisor, and there's so many places to eat. Rocket lettuce with olive oil and lemon juice. Perfect. When I get to my next Airbnb, I'm going to make some more yeah, I don't know that they're pinching butts, but I will say that I've had attention. I've had beautiful compliments come my way, but it's not like that, but I'm not in that space anyway. That's really funny. Nobody is pinching my butt yet. So it's been interesting. I think it's going to keep getting better. And at some point, I'll get to go home and be in my Jupiter energy with all the sunshine and all the celery juice and all the green juice. A lot of times when you travel, their idea of green juices are like, to me, it's like green colored fruit juice. Like, it's not really green. Like, when I go to Air One, it's like green. You can get like just really green juice, which makes me so happy. But I'm going to pay attention to having more lettuce. So I love you guys. I'm so glad we get to catch up. Yes, let's have some more Ormus. The Ormus so helps. It's comforting, and I think it helped me get grounded because there's so many minerals and gold. Like, I feel like it helped me to get grounded. Look at me. Europe has changed. You're struggling, hi Leonie, with mass migration, identity, influences, social media. Yeah, perhaps on the people, but it's not the same. It's not as romantic, and it feels a little colder than it used to feel. So I didn't know if it was for economic reasons, if people are struggling, but there's so many people, like, it's almost like the people are frustrated they have to speak English. Before, when I came, they would be so excited if you tried to say an Italian word, they'd say an Italian word back, and it'd be like, blah, blah, blah. But I'm remembering a lot of it from the trains. Like, I traveled by train to a lot of different places when I was here a long time ago, and that's when you meet people, and maybe there's a little more warmth than when you go into establishments that have to speak English because there's so many tourists. Beatrice, thank you for exploring this, Dara. Such a warm, classy woman throughout. Take care. So inspiring. Thank you. Thank you. So you were ordering some. Yeah, I would definitely get this. And I traveled with the Nirvana and this. I was really wanted to bring all my bottles, but my bag felt heavy and I was really obsessed with keeping it lighter. So I took my 2 best friends. Somebody said something I want to see. Dara's a trailblazer. That's awesome, John B. Elysium is my other favorite. Elysium is like the Mac Daddy, I think, but they're all so good. How do you learn about what? Warm smiley for you too. That's such a sweet name. What do you want to learn more about? How Europe's changed? Why the men aren't pinching butts anymore or flirting? I had to turn down somebody so young and so nice and so complimentary to me. But then I was like, when I told him how old I was like, he was like, what? And I was like, he goes, how old are you? I was like, too old. I'm too old for you. And he was like, Lord. He was working at this coffee shop that I went into every day. And he was like, lit up when he saw me. And then finally he said, I love your smile. And yeah, 27. Anyway, that's not the point of this trip, but it certainly was flattering and sweet. It's very encouraging, M. Dean, it's very encouraging that you're bravely exploring on your own. You know, I think so. One woman wrote to me on Instagram and she was like, what's the big deal? I travel around by myself all the time. And I was like, okay. But for me, it's a big deal. Like, it's a big deal to close a chapter of your life and stop being home mama and finally take off on the trajectory that you were wishing for and scared about and wanting and not wanting to leave the comfort of your home because you have everything, green juices and linens and comfy and bath, and you know where you're staying and where you're going and how to get there, and it's easy. Traveling is not easy. And I was like, well, it is a big deal because I'm opening up a new chapter in my book. And it is a big deal because I'm cutting the ties to some old karma that was keeping me a certain way. And I'm changing my life. And it's a one-way ticket. It's not just a vacation somewhere where I'm sitting by a pool. This is like, I don't know where I'm going. And I'm Astro-geo traveling. Thank you, Karen. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I had to leave Herbie. I had to leave my daughter, my home. So I'm happy to hear you guys say that because I was like, is it not? If people travel alone all the time. I know there's plenty of adventurers, but there's something about this is just different. And I do think that, you know, going to a week retreat somewhere where there's going to be people and everything's handled and you're not alone is one thing, but literally traveling and not knowing where you're going to stay and if you're going to be lonely or who you're going to eat with. Do you know, oh my God, you guys, Saturday night, the first Saturday night, I was miserable. I was like jet lagged and just like lonely and seriously like borderline depressed. And then this Saturday night, I was totally happy, but I went to go, I was like, where am I going to eat? I don't want to eat at the same place that I always eat. So I went to go, I saw this restaurant and I was like, okay, Uno. And he's like, solo? And I was like, yeah. He's like, no, we're full. And I was like, what? There's empty tables. But he didn't want me alone. But I knew it was because he wants to fill up his tables and make a lot of money. But still, I was like, oh my God, that's the opposite of the sentiment. If I saw a woman alone, I'd be like, come, let me feed you. Like, it was almost crazy, weird. But then I know that happened for a reason, because who knows if I would have gotten like food poisoning or I would have had like a bad time there. M. Dean, I followed you for years and I was so excited to see you chose Roma. It's my favorite city in the world. I am so glad because I love it too. And there's things that I don't love. It was so mean. It was like, I was like shocked because I was so sweet. I was smiling and I was like, oh, he's not gonna feed me. And then I was like, oh, and I almost said something, but then I was like, no, I don't want to eat there anyway. And he was just, I think he was upset. His restaurant should have been packed. You have to wait in Trastevere. You have to wait online for the restaurants that are known to be good. There's lines. So, yeah, that's the only thing. Saturday nights are weird. I thought of you guys. I'm like, he doesn't know who he doesn't know how nice, like he didn't, yeah, it was just one of those things. I didn't dwell on it, but there was a moment of like, oh my God, that's a solo traveling moment that you have to be prepared for. There's certain cultures like in India, like they really in India, like they're startled when a woman traveling alone, like it's borderline weird. And when I went to get a juice this morning, I think the man is of Indian descent, something, or Bangladesh. I'm not really sure where, but he said, "You're alone." And I was like, "What do you mean? I'm not alone. You're standing here." I literally said that on Instagram. I was like, "I'm not alone. I'm with you." And he was like, "But you're alone. No boyfriend. No." I go, "Well, I have a daughter. She's bigger than me, and I have friends." And he was like, "But you're alone in Rome." So those are solo traveling moments that do happen. And I'm glad you get to travel vicariously through me. Yes, I am safe, John B. I feel very safe. And Rome is safe. Like I'm not wandering off into any weird neighborhoods. I am completely safe. Oh, you'd like to learn more about astrogeography traveling. Okay, well, that is in my Intro to Astrogeography course on daradubinay.com. You guys can go there and find all about it so that you can go. The beauty of it is that I show you I show you how to look up your chart. And if you do a reading with me, that's great, but why not learn how to do it yourself so that anytime you want to travel, you can see, it's got that energy. This is what Dara says about it. Um, my husband has this line. He's got this energy. I'm probably getting some of that from him because we also get energy from the person we're living with. We want them to be on a good line also. And if they're not, we want to support them in helping them to deal with the challenging things that arise on whatever line. So it's a life tool to use always. That's why I call it a life tool. You can use it today. You can use it next year when you get a job opportunity. You get it the next year when you get invited to go to a wedding somewhere that's not where you are, or if you want to know what energies you were born with, because whatever line you were born on, like me, Pluto rising, means I'm a change maker. I'm constantly evolving myself. So, hey Archie, thank you. You don't need any astrology background to get the info in the course, the life tool. Zainab, where are you from? Andaroglu. I did not say that right. I didn't say that right. Thank you, Dara, for being who you are. I know maybe I never get a chance to talk to you, but you are so special, and I keep my heart open when I wish all the good things your way. That's so beautiful. Can you type that up in the comments so I can read it if I'm feeling lonely and weird? Spontaneous adventures are the best. I agree with you, Sutton. And hi, Sarah, you're back. Yeah, get yourself trained up so you can help others. You help the people in your family, your loved ones, your friends. It's to use for anyone. You've followed me for years. Okay, someone said they were going to India, but I missed that comment. I don't know where that comment went. It was a great comment about feeling strong enough to go to India all by yourself. There we go, Beatrice. You inspired me to be brave enough to travel to India by myself for the first time. Go, Dara. Yes, it's a big deal to travel by yourself, but you're safe, and you have to know you're safe. That's not even my issue. My bigger issue is the bathtub going to have hot water? Am I going to have Wi-Fi? Is it going to smell? Is it things that I can't see in the pictures? Things that I can't. The unknown bothers me about my abodes more than anything. I will be moving away from Rome in 1 week and change. 8 or 9 days, 8 days, 9 days. I'm boldly going. It is a big deal. And Herbie's fine. I'm going to send him a picture when I hang up the phone. I'm going to call him. That's what I'm going to do. You've been following me since 2013. It seems like longer. 7 years. It seems like longer. It seems like 10 years I've been doing this, but it's a good 7 years, right? I think I started in 2012. And we're still going. We're still doing it. The numbers have not gone up on YouTube, but when I started doing the Airbnbs 4 years ago, I kind of YouTube took a back seat, but I'm coming back strong and having fun with my lovies here. I just want to drink this. I want to just like take out the dropper and take a sip. It's so good. It doesn't taste like anything. I'm almost done with the bottle, which doesn't make me sad because it's a little heavy and I'll just look forward to more when I get home. This tonic is called Ormus. It's from Now Alchemy. You can get a DARA discount, and it has gold in it and 72 ancient minerals. So, I mean, where else are you going to get the mineral Ormus? Like, you kind of need it. We need minerals so badly in our diets. Yeah, all right, I'm going to be a little sad when it's done. Maybe meet Archer in somewhere. Yeah, it's got gold. It's quality, not quantity. Thank you, John B. You became raw in 2015. I was raw for 10 years straight. Now I'm eating like gnocchi. But I'll go back when I go home. I'll be raw again. When in Rome. So I think we've had a lovely moment together. Moments. Hi, Archie. You've been following me from the beginning. You saw a lot of my different hairstyles. Red, dark, short, long. I can't help it. It's not like I don't think about changing my hair. It just happens. Like I'll get an inspiration. It's like, it's got to be red. Or all of a sudden I'll be like, it's got to be blonde. And then I just do it. Long with red bangs. Dan the man. Oh, thank you for checking, Smilene. Because I thought it was longer ago. Dan the man dance party. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Dan's on Instagram. I see him a lot now. I wasn't watching YouTube so much. I think more people are on Instagram these days. Is that true? Dan the man dance party. Aw, that's so cute. So 2011. Yeah, that's like 8 years and counting. Yeah. I was doing it about 6 months before that. Could be close to 9 years. I think it might be raining out. It was raining all day. Do you realize that things are open here till 2 o'clock in the morning? If I decided I was hungry and needed to have pasta, I could go out. Time flies. Time flies. I know. Let's still have some fun. And I'm so glad you guys agree that it's a big deal, because it is a big deal. It's not just a week-long trip. And even if it was only for 3 weeks, it's still a big deal. It's a big deal anytime you do something that's a stretch or out of your comfort zone. And what time is it? Let's see. Time for a treat. It's 10:30 at night. Like, I was supposed to be doing editing the video, but I was like, nah, I'd rather talk to you guys. That's Neptune. Hey, Karen and her beautiful hair and hair products. Go check out Karen. You and Dan, and there was another guy that brought you loads of goodies. You gave him cacao and he got a little high. Oh my God, you know who that was? That was Matt Monarch. Oh my gosh, he was like annoyed. Like, he was like, you're not doing business. You need to do more business. You need to make money. And I was like, yeah, but I just like talking about people I like. And it wasn't like a business decision to have him on. I just kind of was curious, like, to have him on and see if he was going to be likable and fun and bring out the fun in him. And he came with a huge box. He's from the Raw Food World, and they have the best, really great products. I don't know, are they still going? I really enjoyed the products that he had. Anyway, he dumped like massive amounts of products on my counter, and I didn't think to ask him if he has cacao. At that point, I thought everybody liked cacao, even though I was aware some people didn't do cacao. I made him a tonic. He drank it, and he was like, oh my God, I haven't had cacao. And it was like a big deal. He was more than a little high. Yeah, it was Matt Monarch. Do I seek out art, the architecture, the flowers? I need to go to, I don't know what the question is, warm smile. What's wrong with Matt Monarch? Like sick how? Sick, like sick, like dis-ease? Yeah, it was really funny. I've had some funny moments. Like, it used to be my thing where I was so happy if I made a mistake on camera. Like, I always got such a kick out of being, human and making mistakes in the kitchen and, blowing up the Vitamix or making a mess or changing direction mid-recipe. Never recipes. It was always intuitive food making. Dump everything on the counter, decide what the zucchini wants to be. It's the same way I made jewelry. Like, the stone told me if it wanted to be a ring or it wanted to be a necklace, and the food dictate, like the shape of the stone, the size of the stone, the color of the stone dictated what jewelry it was going to be, as did the food. The size and shape of the zucchini let me know if I was making hummus. If the zucchini was too small to put in the zoodle noodle thing, the spiruli spiraler, then it could turn into hummus. Or be julienne. Like, it was like always of the moment and particular to that particular produce and the mood that I was in. Thank you, Karen. I don't know what you love about me, but thank you. Made mistakes. Thank you. Because if a person thinks that a chef or a cook or a person in the kitchen doesn't make mistakes, that's a lie. That's a lie. Everybody I know has blended a spoon in the Vitamix. If not, they're not telling the truth. Like, unless they're so, like, I don't know, perfect. But there's creativity involved with food. Like, you have to stay open to inspiration, or else you're just a recipe follower. And so all of a sudden I might get, the idea of cinnamon. I love to call from the earth, but originally born and raised in Istanbul. Then I have lived in San Francisco for 7.5 years, now relocated back in Paris. I felt like I was disturbing you on lives. You're never disturbing me on lives. Are you kidding? I love this. Or a date pic. Broke my blade. Yeah. Oh, I never broke a blade. That's interesting. Even with the spoons that I've put in. Who is they? Who is he? He's not with his wife anymore, right? Oh no, an autoimmune disease. Mr. Perfect about his diet. That's terrible. It really is so much more. It's soul choices. It's karma. Our health is our not being stressed, and it's mental health too, everybody. It's not just the food. The food's the first thing, but it's not just the food. We have to be mentally healthy. So I'm sending him love and wishes. Dara will always be perfect in my eyes. Thanks, John B. I know, Karen, you do it with your art, but not on camera. Everybody's got their thing, like their vehicle, and it's very there's something about communicating with you guys that's just really easy for me. It feels so natural and nice, and I think we ought to be doing the things that give us energy, not only doing the things that we're good at, our comfort zone. It's good to stretch and grow, but we know when it feels so right, and we know when it's just like, no. That's what it feels like. I have spent 7 years making 8 years, 9 years building our family. So that, I think, is my favorite thing out of everything. Like raw food. It's detoxing the body. So we have the body and everything that has to do with the body. Eating, cleansing. soothing, lifting. Then we have home. We have decluttering, feng shui, nice things. Then we have where to be. That's Astro-geography. And we have travel now. So, but the biggest thing that I've done, I think the thing that makes me happiest is the global family. Remember when I would show up somewhere and then like 25 people would come out to meet me? That's really fun. Like knowing that you guys are friends with each other and can connect and meet each other, that makes me really happy. Liz Graham is here. You're never poorly affecting my energy. You're lovely, Zainab. Every time say hi. Do you know that you inspired me to go to Ojai, California? No. Oh, that's so nice. I feel that being a really nice place for you, like 100%. Ojai. It's a lovely place. I'm so happy to hear that. Ciao, ciao, Miss Integrity. Greetings from Scotland. Hi, Scotland. I'm good in Scotland, you know. I'm not picking up and going there now. I'm just going to continue to swim on my Neptune line in Europe. Lucky me. I just want to get things done. I want my videos to be done. I want my next course to be done, but all in good time. Hey, Cameron. Cameron is essential to a beautiful company called Simples. They're tonics, not like my tonics. They're like herbal infusion tonics, and they're amazing. And he's like an herb specialist. I have a worldwide following, John B. It's global and loving, and it's my favorite thing, really. You're starting to find other raw vegans. It's much easier now than it used to be, although a lot of the raw vegans went not raw and not vegan. Scotland needs me. That would be so fun. I think I have some Jupiter up there. This Neptune thing is interesting. So this is my Neptune trip. Can you really tell I'm Capricorn? I'm so Capricorn, like it's bugging me that I'm not getting stuff done. But the Cancer moon's like, it's okay, just nurture yourself. And Virgo rising, it wants me to be a little more particular about my diet here. The Virgo's not having it, all this Neptune stuff, but it's a good dose for me. It's some nutrients I needed, some minerals from the sea, some treasures and magic and dreaminess, which happens when you're traveling anyway, because you don't have all the pulls that you normally have at home. You don't have all the things yet, the house things that have to be fixed. 3 apartments, and this light goes out, and then the dryer breaks, and then you got to get a repairman, and then you find mold in your studio, and then you got to get a reparation, and then you have to just nonstop, and then you have to hire the landscaper who can't pull the planter away from the wall that caused a little mold on the inside of the wall because he made the pipe coming up from the concrete. Now he has to redo the whole thing. I mean, it was like a crazy show before I left. No wonder I'm like, now what? Because I was like firing on all cylinders before I left. It was insane. Tonic Tuesdays, do you want them again? Do you want to do Tonic Tuesdays again? Oh, you like them? Let's do them again. I think I want to go eat pizza. Just forced you to get out of your head and into your heart. Yeah, Smiling. I think that this has forced me to get out of my do. Like Virgo, Capricorn, climbing up the mountain, and just be more like, It's disorienting, I will tell you that. Guess what? Okay, Tonic Tuesdays. It's coming back. I'm going to go now and make a tonic, I think. I just got oat milk from the market. I was making tonics with just water, fine. But there's something about half water, half oat milk, a little bit of honey and herbs. I might just have that for the evening. Sometimes I do that where I don't really eat dinner and I just have tonics and maybe a little bit of fruit. Sometimes it's nice to get a digestive rest, especially since I've been having all this gluten. So big hugs. I hope you guys make some kind of tonic Someone asked me my number one herb that I wouldn't ever want to live without, besides now alchemy elysium, I wouldn't want to live without reishi. It's Moon Day. So that's tomorrow. Tomorrow. We'll have Tonic Tuesday tomorrow. But I'll have to do it in the evening because if I make it morning this time, in the US, how many of you are in Europe? That's a very good question. Who wants it European morning time, or it could be US evening time, late afternoon, evening, because I notice when I post things or go live in the morning here, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning where some people are. So it's 9:30 where you are now. You're in Scotland. Okay. Sarah's in Scotland. Sarah, are you in Scotland? How about if I just do 2 and we'll see who shows up? John seems to be showing up at all of them. Sophie. All the best to all, Denise. Have a wonderful rest of the day, evening, wherever it is, whatever it is where you are. London, you're in London. So it's 9:30, it's a different time zone. Okay. You're a creature of the night, I know. Our bouncer and court holder, court advisor, what is the person who holds court called? That's you, John. It's 4:30 in Tennessee. Okay, so evening sounds like a nice time to make a tonic. And I'll try one in the morning just to see who shows up. That'll be fun. Oh, you guys know where each other are. It's so cute. I should edit or watch Netflix. I watched Renee Zellweger has a show. It had 1 season out, and it's so not my normal type of thing because I usually like sappy, happy romantic comedies. But I got drawn into this Netflix show with her, and she did such a fine job. Oh my gosh. What's it called? I'm looking it up right now. It's so not my normal thing, like thrillers, but it was good. It wasn't like death and sex. It wasn't too horrible, but it was like mentally, it's called What If. I like it. I also like Call the Midwife, so I love you guys. I'm going to say buona notte. Love you too. I'm so glad we got to do this. I don't know if it's going to post, so this might be it. I don't know if it's going to actually share with anyone who wasn't here, but it's of the moment. Hi, Sock. Okay, sweet buona notte.